r/AskReddit, what is the scariest illness or genetic disease that humans can get? Malaria, if not treated, can be scary. I survived severe malaria while traveling around Central Africa, and it was the scariest thing in my life. A lot of hallucinations and a feeling of your brain shutting down. I once had super mild malaria and I couldn't handle it. Sorry you went through that. The good news is that there is an mRNA vaccine that is showing enormous promise. I am so sorry you experienced that. I am glad you made it. Fatal familial insomnia. ALS. Rabies. Locked-in syndrome. Dementia. Complex regional pain syndrome. Crab disease, for the poor kids. FFI is fucking terrifying. Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. Prion disease. I lost my husband this way. Lost my mom to CJD. I'm so sorry for your loss. I'm so sorry. Nightmarish. Someone I know lost a friend to flesh-eating bacteria. Gone in 48 hours. Rabies is terrifying. Mercifully quick perhaps, but rip, what an awful way to go. For genetic diseases, literally anything. You have goals in your life, you want to have something in the future. But nope, you just found out you are fucked for the rest of your life for uncontrollable reasons, and might have to heavily change your lifestyle so you won't die from seizures or anything, even if anyone else living like you wouldn't have close to anything like that issue. Huntington's disease. Found out just before the holidays that I have Huntington's. Haven't told anybody yet though. Holidays first. I have it, and it's awful. Seconded. My mom works at a nursing home and currently has a patient with Huntington's. It's absolutely miserable to go through. Sad story. Link. I had to write a paper about Huntington's when I was in high school. The research was terrifying to say the least. The guy who licked that slug, I still think about him randomly. Roundworms fuck you up. I got bit by a dog in the summer and made a point to my doctor to get my rabies shot. He was reluctant, but I insisted. I had to speak to the health department and they told me I was getting the shot. Yup. Just the name of the parasite, rat lungworm, gives me the shivers. Sorry, what? That one where your skin just falls off at the slightest touch sounds horrendous. I watched a documentary about a little kid with it. I'd rather be dead. Toxic epidermal necrolysis. You have a reaction to some type of medicine, and your skin blisters and peels off in sheaths. Or there is epidermolysis bullosa, which is a genetic disease that causes the skin to be very fragile. Any small amount of pressure or friction causes the skin to blister and peel off. Both sound terrible. Rabies. It's imperative you get that treated immediately if there's any suspicion you might have caught it. Once you show symptoms, it's probably already too late and it's an excruciating death. Not probably, it is too late when you start showing symptoms. You will die, and it will be a horribly agonizing death. Any prion disease. Harlequin ichthyosis is pretty fucking horrible. I'm not googling it for you. The only good thing about it is that the afflicted babies don't live long enough to learn the word pain. They feel it though. To anyone who reads this, I am absolutely fucking serious. Do not research. The curiosity was killing me. I regret it anytime I think about it. I am fucking serious. Prions. Some people with it have survived to adulthood. It definitely seems like a miserable disease to have to live with, though. Cystic fibrosis. Not only is it uncurable and terminal, but it's quite miserable for the sufferers. They can live a long time, but none of it will be pleasant. A buildup of mucus in the lungs that not even a lung transplant can permanently fix. It's fucked. Yeah, but at least we have Trikafta now. Miracle drug for a lot of people. Having it sucks, you're not wrong. Sanfilippo syndrome and progeria are both horrendous. I only know about it because of some parents on Instagram who share about it. It's such a shame more people don't talk about Sanfilippo syndrome. My niece is a young toddler with thick eyebrows, so I'm silently holding my breath. She displays no other signs of Sanfilippo, and technically the thick eyebrows aren't even a sign, but it's terrible. MND motor neuron disease. My sister got diagnosed at 36 years old in 2019 and suffered a cruel slow death, years of pain and losing her ability to do everything. She passed away in May this year, finally at peace. MND. So many people don't realize their pain. Finally at peace says you fully understand what she went through and most likely helped. Gone, not forgotten, and you and the family need a break more than most people do in years. Much respect. Edit. In the US and other areas, MND can be ALS or other terminal diseases. Huntington's. It's autosomal dominant, unlike most other guaranteed fatal conditions that present post-birth, such as Tay-Sachs, meaning if one of your parents had it, you have a 50% chance of having it, too. And the worst part is that it doesn't present until someone is in their 30s or 40s, so you have no way of knowing for sure until someone dies of it. If you have an adopted grandparent or parent, you have zero way of knowing. Enjoy. I think ALS is particularly difficult because one knows what's coming, but may wait years to end life. Not saying it's the most painful. My mother died of CJD. It was a goddamn nightmare. Wouldn't wish it on anyone. My mom passed from ALS. It is fucking horrible to watch. She went from running 10 to 15 miles per day to just wasting away in 3 years. For me it's a horrifying three-way tie between rabies, Ebola, and Marburg virus. Alzheimer's, I'd say. Alzheimer's sucks, but more for the loved ones. The sufferer doesn't necessarily know they're suffering. Of course complications arise. Lost my papa this way, pneumonia. Up until then though he was living a normal, if boring, life in long-term care. Sometimes bits of memory would come over him and those moments are some of my favorite memories. Other times he'd take apart a table lamp and forget how to put it back together. The one you get to name. Define telerabies. Rabies. By the time you realize you've got it, it's usually too late. You then have an agonizing death to look forward to. Fibrodysplasia ossificans progressiva, your muscles are slowly replaced by bone. Radiation poisoning is a terrible way to die. Prions. So somehow it's transmitted via food. Scleroderma or ichthyosis. My mother died of scleroderma. It's an incredibly cruel disease. She was a vibrant, creative person who lived 15 years after diagnosis. Prions, Creutzfeldt Jakob, Kuru, bovine spongiform encephalopathy, fatal familial insomnia. Thinking about it makes me shudder. Probably ALS. There is some kind of deer to human zombie thing on the front page of Reddit that seems scary. Prions. Don't eat venison from deer that haven't been checked out by your local department in charge of hunting, and never ever eat their brains or nervous tissue. Locked in syndrome. Full mental capacity. Total paralysis. Lesknahan is pretty brutal. Rat lung is awful. I live here in Hawaii and have seen fully progressed cases. Wash your food and cook it. There's some sort of prion disease going on in New Brunswick, Canada. ALS, my father-in-law has it. You just slowly shut down. It's terrible, I can't imagine. ALS. Sickle cell disease is pretty awful. ALS. Chronic wasting disease is running across North American deer. No deaths in humans yet. Link. They are scary as f***.